Hello and welcome to Jill Cameron Creations. We are doing our first project for the Hedgehog Hollow October kit, and this month is some absolutely adorable winter scene stamps. So I'm using three. One of them is a stencil actually, and it has some snowflakes and other things on there. And we're going to be using the snowflakes. And I'm also using the snowman stamp set and then the sentiment stamp set that goes along with that. What we're doing today is I'm going to show you an easy way to mask so you can create an empty space for a stencil. So I wanted to put my snowman image in just a plain white area. I didn't want him to have any of the stenciling behind him. I wanted him to be in a nice plain white circle. So I die cut a circle out of some masking paper and put that exactly where I wanted it. And then I taped, as you can see, on the back side of the stencil itself, I taped my paper onto it. And I usually don't tape my stencil down to the surface that I'm working on. I tape my stencil to the paper itself. And I find that I get better results this way because I've turned my project so many times to make sure that everything is covered. And for me, that just works better. Some people, they do get better results if they tape everything down. But for me, it is definitely taping the paper to the stencil itself. I don't have to worry about it slipping, and then I can turn my stencil. It doesn't matter what size stencil I'm using. This really does work for me really well. Now, I'm using some Nuvo glitter paste here. Be sure to clean everything immediately. I put this on pause and immediately went and rinsed everything off with some warm water. To peel up the stencil, all you have to do is pick up the edge of it and carefully peel it away. I use Avery temporary labels as masking paper, and I just will stick it on my pant leg, and so just to get rid of some of the stick on it. I don't buy actual masking paper because the Avery temporary labels are such a good deal for the amount that's in the package for the money. A lot of times when you use pastes and that kind of thing on your projects, you'll have a little bit of overhang on them. All you have to do is take the back side, not the actual cutting part, but the back side of your craft knife and knock it off. No problems whatsoever. So now I'm going to remove my media mat there, and we're going to do some stamping and some Copic coloring for our little snowman and his hat. The actual box set itself for the October kit from Hedgehog Hollow has an absolutely adorable die that goes with it, and these stamp sets were meant to go with that die. And it actually has the movement in it for the snowman and the Santa Claus to accept gifts into their hand or take the hat on and off. It is super, super, super cute, and that's going to be one of my next videos. But I really just wanted to show you that you could use these as just regular stamps in any way you wanted to, in any card you wanted to. So I'm going to use my favorite red here. R29 is my main light color there, but I'm using R59 and R39 in my reds, and I'm going to color the hat band and also the scarf. My Copic coloring is not perfect. I like to Copic color more than anything for the reason that I don't see marker streaks. That's one of my main reasons that I love coloring with alcohol markers. And of course you can get that no streak look with many brands of alcohol markers. It doesn't have to be Copics. I do like the color range that Copic has. But that's one of the reasons that I really like coloring with Copics, mainly for stamped images especially, is that I don't see the marker lines in them. So have fun with it. Don't stress about whether or not it's perfect and you got your shading right and you got your light source in the right place. Look, I have red runs really, really bad. It bleeds into the next area. Use your 0 to push that back into where it's supposed to be. It's no big deal. So I put a little red heart and a little red band, and we're going to go back at the very end when I'm putting my card together. We'll put gold on all of the buttons and buckles, and I'm going to use Wink of Stella gold for that because that happens to be the gold glitter pen that I have. So that's the one that we're going to use. And I'm using G09 and G05 to color in the holly leaves here. And then I'm going to use a couple of different gray markers and a black to color in the hat. Of course, the hat is supposed to be black. It's a snowman's hat. You can color it any color you want to, though. You color green if you want to. But I did a traditional black hat, and I'm going to zoom in here on this. Black has a multitude of colors in it. It's not just black. Black, when the light hits it, can look gray, and it can look silvery, and it can look a million different color shades of black in there and gray. So what I'm doing is I put black on the edges because that's going to be my darkest area, and then I'm going to use C9 and C7 to fill in the rest of this, and that is going to give the hat some depth and not just look like it's a flat black and I printed it out on a printer kind of thing. And that's how you get depth in your black colors. And I usually, with my C colors, go back over an entire the entire image with my lightest color, just because it will give it some variation. Now we need to color. I colored his little arms as if they were wooden sticks, just like you would if you built a snowman in your yard. And I'm going to do that here. And I used C27 and C29, not C, E's, sorry. I used E27 and E29 to color that. Now, I always get confused on which colors are out of the BG zeros and the B00s are my lightest colors. So, and I'm sorry this is a little fuzzy because I was moving a little fast for my camera to keep up with this. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw in a little bit of shadow here. And at first it's going to kind of look like he has a blue beard and he's got some stubble going on. But after he dries, it will be fine. I'm just putting in some shadows here and there for this. Even with Copic markers, in order to get a true color, you have to allow for the alcohol to evaporate completely from the paper so that the paper dries and you don't have that gray in there. So just keep that in mind. And then I went back over all of this color that I did with the blues and the BGs there with the 0 marker to blend it out and soften the edges so you wouldn't see it. I forgot to put some on top of his head where his hat was going to be sitting, but that's okay. So now we're going to I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to fussy cut. And if you have ever watched any of my videos, y'all know I am not a huge fan of fussy cutting. It is not my most favorite thing to do, mainly because it hurts my hand to fussy cut. But these little boys and girls in the stamp sets deserved to be fussy cut out. And so I'm going to do that. Remember, when you're fussy cutting, to hold the hand that you have your scissors with, to hold that steady and turn the paper with your opposite hand. And after you've been fussy cutting for a while, it kind of becomes second nature. You don't really think about it as much as you're doing it anymore. Also, don't forget that when you fussy cut something, to finish the edge with a black marker if it's a stamped image. Use a water-based black marker. Do not use an alcohol marker if you have been Copic coloring. The reason for that is that the Copic marker or the alcohol marker, it could be an Altenew or a Spectrum Noir or Pro Markers or whatever brand that you choose, that alcohol can bleed into your image and ruin it. So you don't want to do that. Use a water-based marker. In my case, I actually use a pigment marker that I've had for 20 years, I reckon, and I still use it. I wish I could find them again. They were a Marvy pigment marker that I bought 100 years ago, and the black one just happened to be the only one that still worked out of the set, and I kept it, and I use it all the time. If you want a marker that's just specifically to do the edging, because it can, after a while, it can fuzzy the tips on your markers, what I would recommend is grab a black Crayola marker. You know, you can pick up a set of those for next to nothing, and just use the marker, the black marker in there to do your edges on this. I don't do it in the air. I put it down on a piece of paper and draw around the edges of it. That way I can actually see the white, if there's any white left, and then I'll turn the image over and pick up any white places that I may have missed cutting. And I don't like to go back and cut because I will mess it up in a heartbeat. So in between this transition here, I did trim off a shade or two off of the edge of my panel here. I did trim off some off of the sides so that I could have that blue show through right there. And I'm gonna go ahead and adhere this with my ATG tape gun to my pool. Is that really pool? I guess it's a light blue panel there. And there we go. Now I'm gonna do the little snow hill that my snowman is gonna be sitting on. And I kept in some of the parts where I test stuff because I pick out a color and I'm like, I don't know if this is really right. And so I want to make sure that these are the right colors that I'm going to use. And I just have a scrap piece of paper on here. That happens to be a flower from Altenew that I had on there that I was testing the colors out on some new ink that I got. And it's just a scrap piece of paper. And I ended up using Simon Says stamp ink for this, and to make my little hill there because it blended very well with the background and also the different blues in my little snowman. I'm not going to use dry adhesive for him because he needs to actually stick down really, really well, and he has those little arms sticking out. So I used some liquid adhesive and I used Nuvo Deluxe adhesive on this, which I'm about out of, and my order got lost in the mail. Not from Nuvo, but not from Tonic Studios, from another company, and patiently waiting for it to be resolved. Patiently being the key word there. I don't do patience very well. Anyway, so we're going to put our hat on our little snowman here, and I popped it up a little bit with some Scotch foam tape. And of course, all of the products that I use will be below in the description and over on the Hedgehog Hollow blog, as well as over on my blog. There will be a link over on my blog to an article on how to die cut your images using a pick scan mat for Silhouette Studio if you wanted these to have a white border around them like a traditional stamp and die set. And there will be a link over to my blog from the Hedgehog Hollow blog as well. I put some little rosy cheeks on my little snowman, and I did that with an R21, and now I'm going to use a gel pen, white gel pen, just to add some little highlights here and there. And for our sentiment, we are going to use Happy Christmas. And every time I hear Happy Christmas, of course that's not very American. We say Merry Christmas here in America. But Happy Christmas, I always think of Harry Potter for the second movie, because Hermione says Happy Christmas, and to Ron and to Harry there, and I always think of it, makes me smile. Notice the paper change color. I thought, oh hey, I'll do black and white, and then I went, nope, don't like that, so I went with red with white embossing on here. Don't forget, when you are doing heat embossing, always use your anti-static powder tool. It's a lifesaver, as well as those coffee filters. Coffee filters are they're an amazing catch-all for just about everything on your desk that you could possibly imagine, including jewels and sequins and all that kind of stuff, especially embossing powder. Now I'm going to scoot this up so you can see. When I cut a sentiment like this, I slip it just under that bar, and then I'm going to put this here, and I'll kind of add a little bit and push it out just a little bit more when I cut the edge of it, so that I have the same distance all the way around. And now I'm going to pick my place, and I'm going to pop my sentiment up with a little bit of foam tape, and the card is finished. The drying time for the Nuvo glitter paste, I let it set for about 15 minutes before I started messing with it and building my card on it. Super, super, super simple, quick card. You could do all of your backgrounds and all of your coloring all at once and then put everything together. It would be a really quick card. The one thing that I will say that you need to do on all of your holiday cards this year is stamp the back of them with a handmade and a by you, and put the year on it. I do this for all of my Christmas cards that I hand out to family and friends, and it's just something that they can keep all year round in their sentiment stash. Thanks so much for joining me today. Don't forget to head over to Jill Cameron Creations and the Hedgehog Hollow blog and shop and pick up your October kit now. Y'all have a wonderful day.